Bruno.
He's done so. Bruno was done so.
Bruno was officially done so. Welcome back to the Peppercorn Boys, where the group chat became the podcast and where the group chat became the Stag Do. I am Bruno, one of your hosts. I can't say the host because Scott gets a little bit too hurt, but I am joined each and every week by Scott and Joe.
Yeah. And if he hadn't introduced me like that, I would have got hurt. My name is Scott. And how do you do?
Hi, my name is Joe.
I'm the Stag.
You are, and you were the Stag, and we're in a different environment because last week was a little bit echoey, to say the least. So I appreciate the effort that you've gone to.
Yeah, I'd love to. I might take a picture at the end just so you can see what we just did.
It's
janky because you understand the house, so you can understand where we are.
Yeah, I know where you are, and I quite like it. You look like you're on TV.
I was about to say this. This feels like, you know, when they do like, you know,
talking head bits.
Yeah, and you know, like press junkets for films.
Yeah.
And then they appear on like.
Well, this is our third podcast today. So
yeah, and they prefer they.
Oh wow!
And then they appear on like This Morning via satellite or something. That's kind of what it feels like. It was a lot of fun making this movie. We had a good time, didn't we?
We had a great time, and I'm 1.5 away from saying Trossard, but I'm not going to do that, even though I've just done it. No, it's been a busy one, but I'm going to say this is the first time we've done it here.
Yeah.
I've moved all around the house for TikTok lives, podcasts, streams, and another podcast. They've all been in 4 separate places, essentially.
They have.
Because I think with Whatnot, you're not too bothered about echoing, but I heard Bruno played me last week's episode on the plane. And I was like, I can't have that echo. That is awful. I apologize. And that's me. I'm someone who goes, it'll be fine. I was like, nah, I'm so sorry.
No, I appreciate that, and I do quite like it. It's very different. I can't wait until your whole renovation is done because the stuff that you've done already looks incredible, and I can't wait to see your actual new studio. So
right, and the worst part is the shoe is like the last thing, so I've got to wait for everything to get done, furnish it all, and then what am I left with is the big question.
Exactly, but that's just who you are. You make sure everyone gets what they need first, and then you think about yourself.
That's not what you said this week. So I think we should get to the week that was, because I think if any Peppercorns have been following along, they knew we were going to Orlando, Florida this past week. And we've got the Peppercorns. The Peppercorns were together, all 5 Peppercorns.
Well, the group chat came to real life.
That's what we did it. Exactly, we did it. We finally did it. And there's a picture to prove it, finally. And I'll say this. What's the word? No, I don't want to use the word mascot in any way.
Mascot?
I'm going to use honorary oos of the Peppercorns.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it would have been great to have Lil Red on this episode, but I don't think technology-wise, because I think he doesn't even have a phone, does he? He has a carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, and I think he actually keeps it in one of his baggy pockets down by his knee.
He did ask, when I did put it forward to him to be on this podcast, he said, can I do it via my carrier pigeon, Wesley?
Yeah, and we said Wesley's not going to cut it because Wesley's 15 now.
Yeah.
And I don't think we should be sending that carrier pigeon to the podcast in any way, shape, or form. So shout out Honorary Oos, the Bruce. You're going to hear all about him in this episode.
We are. And straight off the bat, because I know that leading into the Stag Do, I kind of obliterated him to an extent, but I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Lil Red.
Yeah, I loved it. I think he's brilliant. I think he's brilliant. I think he's got like real good pros and real bad cons. But we love him for his pros and cons.
He has a gorgeous mouth.
He's a cool mate. I could do a whole podcast on him eating a vessel.
I could be too.
Angus, Bruno and I watched the guy ahead of him on the flight home. I've never seen a guy savor food. Imagine like a turtle when he gets hold of a lettuce. It was like he would almost snap into it. Like it
had some vigor to it for sure.
But the way he sunk his teeth, I know. And like then you'd like look at it while he's eating it. I was just like, I don't savor food.
Sensual succulence is what you would call it.
But
yeah, we learned that Scott and I are a couple 1-2 fatties, I think.
Yeah, we were watching people eat when we weren't eating. And Bruno's got a real funny way of showing people that he doesn't want food. Because I was we're starting at the end here, but we were flying home, and it was through the night. Bruno and I pretty much agreed we're not going to eat because it's not in our diet plan. And the guy would like walk past, and he'd kind of do that thing where he's like, because we didn't have headphones on, it was in late nights.
Yeah.
You go, do you want food? Okay, thank you. And what Bruno would do is, because it's awkward, isn't it, to sit there and watch him. So Bruno would completely turn his back on him like this and look at me. And the minute I do that, it's the minute he heard 1 second go, and you, sir, he'd go,
Really?
And yeah, it was like, you'd like, I'm okay. And he kind of put his hand up to him, but wouldn't look at him. Yeah, he was like, but he'd wait for it. So he goes, so go to say, are you, how about you, sir?
How about you?
I'm okay. But he'd snap into it. So it's that guy with his food. Which is really interesting. But every single time I thought the guy was going to punch him in the neck or something. No,
I didn't see this. I fell asleep for the journey home. I literally said to Kieran,
Fell asleep?
I fell asleep?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I saw about half an hour into the journey. I saw they were going to start wheeling food out, and I'm a sucker for airplane food. I like it. But I knew I needed to get sleep before the next day. So I said to Kieran, I told Lil Red, I said, if they come to food, just tell them I'm asleep. And I just put my cap down, hood up, curled up into a little ball, into my tiny little cocoon that I had, and then went to sleep for the next 6-7 hours.
Joe, does your neck hurt?
Everything hurts. Everything hurts.
I saw you actually do the neck dip once when I looked over.
Oh, I fell a lot. There was a point where I was resting my forehead on my lower tummy. and then when I tried to rise
19-year-old Bruno when I filmed him with that, here again.
On Marilyn Manson.
On Marilyn Manson. Bruno's had 2 ribs removed. Did you know that?
Did he?
Yeah. He tried
Crazy.
something. Still couldn't do it.
No.
You done?
I think I'm done.
Yeah.
I think I'm good.
On Joe touching his head to his ribs, the guy in front of us, Scott, that kept putting his head on the screen and kept calling the
security, the bell.
The hostesses over, and halfway through he turned on his light for so long.
Yeah.
I heard with his forehead he actually completed the 2048 game.
Yeah, no, it's impossible. I heard that's impossible.
Yeah.
No, he'd do that, yeah. And the worst part was when you looked around the whole flight, there was not one light on except this guy. His one was pointing directly at Bruno and I behind him. So they were fine, but we weren't. We were under spotlight. So yeah, we had a bad time with that. But oh God, can you imagine if the guy ahead of him had put his chair back?
Whoa.
I know.
He would have had his forehead touching his tummy if he wasn't careful.
Yeah, we didn't have the best flight experience either way, I would say.
No.
The one bag is actually fine. It just wasn't ideal, but I think it's more just based on us not being able to sleep on flights.
Yeah.
The one there was
Agreed.
awful. I thought it was wrong.
It was.
That was a really bad flight, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's my worst one.
Even I felt rough.
Yeah, I felt
fine.
Motion sickness, all that. But I mean, we plowed through. I'll say that.
We did.
Stag.
You got the guns to the head, as promised.
Yeah,
You did.
That sounds worse than it is. Bruno puts his 2 fingers to my forehead on every flight we're on for some reason.
He kept whipping out his little flesh gun.
Yeah. Flesh gun is definitely inhibitive. I don't think you can have that. I don't think you can say that. Yeah.
No.
We didn't get a picture of it, but I mean, we should have got it on a Polaroid or like a disposable. Sorry.
Yes. Damn it.
Cool.
That would have been real cool.
I'm going to get them developed actually.
When?
Are
you the only ones can see them?
Soon, I think. Like probably this weekend or so.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do is I can't look at them because obviously the point is, but I might do like a quick like that just to see if one's come out all right because I'm so scared that I didn't do something at the start.
The biggest fear is because we're so used to our phones, like auto-focusing and stuff. With those, I know if you move slightly, it blurs it.
Oh, yeah.
I kept catching myself a couple of times, kind of moving as I was as you click it.
Yeah.
It just kind
I'm just worried about them being rotten, and then we get to the wedding, and we're like, let's have a look.
Yeah.
Like, what do you reckon that is?
That's kind of funny, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I quite like that.
And once we've looked through them at the wedding, I'll then
Burn them.
scan them. All right,
we'll scan
twins.
them. Yeah, we'll scan them.
Twins.
We'll scan them like they were on our iPhone the whole time.
I'll scan them.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And then put them into a little video package, like that one that you showed me, the Post Malone one. It'll be something to the extent of that, where it goes and done.
That's better than burning them.
I think you got a better idea. I do like the idea of doing like Hangover, where we could actually film something at the wedding where we just sat and go, "Oh, we look at these once," and then as you open them, we go, and then it starts, and we play some Flow Rider or some Mr. Worldwide.
I like that, Mr. Worldwide.
What song actually did make? What song makes you think of this holiday the most? Because I was doing that when I put my Instagram up, and I went with Creed just because we sang Creed of it.
You did. Was that the one that Kieran learnt the meaning to?
Yes.
It wasn't, was it? Was
it?
No,
it was.
Okay,
6 feet from the edge. And I'm thinking.
Either that or Jacob Fatu's entrance music. Is
honestly,
either or.
Hell, I honestly thought about doing that when I did the thing, and I thought this seems out of context. And because Lewis and Sam are in the pictures, I was like, is it like as if I met wrestlers?
Yeah.
If I've got wrestling music? The only other one I could think of was Pink Pony Club, because I thought
that cover.
Maria.
That was so
Maria?
good.
Yeah, something.
Michelle Marie?
Something.
She did a great cover of that already.
Yeah,
So
she's American Idol fame.
Yeah, she was only like 9.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she was really good. Other than that, there's no song that jumped straight to mind.
We didn't really hear a lot of music, did we?
I'd say we had a pretty a good experience down to Sarasota with music. I think that music really went on a ride.
Are we allowed to talk about that journey?
We'll talk about that journey in a moment.
I cannot wait for you to skirt around PG version of what happened.
Come out. I've already got an idea.
On that trip.
I've been wrapping my brain the whole time. How do I explain this on a thing without making me sound like I'm in trouble? When I'm nothing to do with it. I'm just going to put that right early door. And no one other than Bruno is involved as well, just for clarity.
Yeah, it was all me. I was thinking of this. Apart from agreeing to go, I made a catalog of errors on that holiday.
You did. I knew it was going to be bad when he said to us, "You can leave like 5. Like the M25 gets no traffic."
Yeah, I know.
And then we left at 3 a.m. and sat in an hour's of traffic. And when we got there, he goes, Mr. Traffic over here was wrong, wasn't he? And I was like, yeah.
Traffic Jonesy was dead wrong.
Yeah, he's gone.
And then it just happened. It just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, I think.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This was definitely your second to worst moment of the week. I mean, we could do a top 10 worst moments for Bruno, but I mean...
Yeah, I know. We're
not going to go that deep. I say this. I reckon there's about 3 things that can't even make the podcast because I don't know if they're good stories or if they're just odd moments.
Yeah.
And they involve Bruno, Kieran, and the toilet. I feel like I'm not going to bring that up. I'm going to involve... I think the mystery of that is more entertaining than the actual story.
Yeah.
Kieran in the toilet is a story for itself. I mean, that guy is in the toilet every 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I only just picked up on that. I was trying to think, what did we do? Oh, yeah.
You just say, yeah. No, it isn't as bad as you think, but it kind of is as bad as you think. For me, it's really bad. But I think the mystery is way better. I think we should get to the Sarasota trip just because we're right there. We don't have to like chronologically go through the whole thing.
Okay, all right. I thought we might have done it. I don't know. What do you reckon our listeners will want?
I don't know.
Do you reckon they'll want the chronological, or do you reckon they'll want just the bits and pieces?
Well, I'm happy to do this story and then kind of settle down into kind of a bit of chronological.
Okay. This is all right. This is the main story.
Yeah. Oh, you want this to be the main story? Interesting. Cool. We'll get to that as well. I like about this all revolves around Bruno. Like if you said, "Oh, what's Scott's worst moments of like the whole trip?" It's like he got a bit of motion sickness on the first flight. Bruno's is like, I don't know, what one do you want to talk about? So we went to see Orioles versus Pirates. We want to see Paul Skeens.
Yeah, we
pitch up against, name a player, Gunnar Henderson, is he there?
Gunnar didn't play. Colton Cowser, Adley Rutschman.
There you go, Colton Cowser. We want to see that moment.
Adley got a couple hits off him as well, got first base.
And this was another one of my mistakes where I said in the hotel, it's Florida. It's going to be hot at night.
Oh, mate, honestly.
I didn't know Florida get cold.
I didn't know. That was the first time I've ever experienced cold Florida.
I don't trust Florida anymore.
But we bought some tickets. We went to see Sam in a day, young Kit Wilson. Went to see his humble abode because some of the boys hadn't seen.
Beautiful home.
Lovely home.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous.
We got to see
that home gym as well.
That rookie card, Stevie Turner. We got to see her.
We did, yeah.
And yeah, we just kind of hung out, bits like that. And they were obviously heading off to SmackDown in Philly. So we hadn't seen Lou yet, but we'd seen Young Kit. And then from there, we also went to a card shop. I know this is a bit chronological, but I'm just kind of blowing through a couple of things that you don't want to hear about. And then we got back to the hotel. This is the story I wanted to tell. This is how I want to piece this together.
All right.
I'm just going to set the scene. It's 14 degrees. It's Orlando, Florida. It's 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And we're on our way to Sarasota.
Yeah. Couple hour drive.
On a Thursday. Yeah. Maybe a 3 hour drive.
2.5. Yeah,
2.5. It could be 3 with traffic. Yeah. We're in the hotel all getting changed, ready for a baseball game, thinking, oh, what's the weather? We all turn around to Bruno in his pants. And he's got a Subway sandwich in his hand.
I was hoping you would do this.
Yeah, How I Met Your Mother fame. So if you want to understand what we're getting at, he had a Subway sandwich in his hand. And, some people would say maybe have a quarter of that sandwich. Brothers had a foot long. Brothers had a foot long.
He took a foot long down.
He had a foot long down. He went, rat-a-ding, and he went, anyway, and then got changed. And we all went, this will be interesting. Then we made the kind of our first mistake where we forgot that happened. And we went and got in that car, and I said, you guys haven't seen Wawa, the greatest restaurant in Orlando.
No, we haven't. No.
Which, if you don't know, is a petrol station.
It's fantastic.
It's got cladding. And we took him there. And this would have been the first one because around 2 p.m., Bruno said to me, I'm not hungry, so I'm going to eat at the baseball game. I'm like, cool.
Well, after the Subway sandwich.
This is just before he has
This is just before.
And then 30 minutes later, we're at Wawa. And he goes, what are you getting? I go, a burrito. He goes, yeah, I want a burrito. And I went, okay.
That's because I didn't realize that you were going to eat at Wawa, and I wanted to test out the infamous food that they have. Like, the boys rave about it. You raved about it. So I was like, I'm going to have to. And I made that was a mistake because I should have got the bowl rather than the burrito. Yeah.
I comfortably ate mine tidily enough in the back of
the seat,
back of the rental. Yeah.
Whereas me and Bruno got the exact same, I believe it's the exact same burrito order. He's going to try and disagree here, but Bruno, did you have beef in there?
No, I had chicken.
Same. Roast chicken. We had no rice because I don't know. Wawa just ran out of rice, I think.
They don't have rice, yeah.
No, I don't think it was. Weirdly enough, I think because you had sauce and I had no sauce, but the chicken was so moist.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So I had sauce on top of this moist chicken he talks about. We stand either side of our Ford Malibu or whatever it was.
How long should you guys eat these from inside?
Joe was in there for 35 minutes, I think. Kieran sat in the back seat and he's got a Michelob in his hand. I thought, well, this is...
I wanted that as well. When he came to... I got definitely FOMO of that.
Oh, did you?
He came to me in the Wawa and said, what's the deal on...
driving?
On being in a moving car with an open alcohol beverage.
I think there is something to it. I think there's in the back seat, maybe.
Well, I said to him in England, I'm pretty sure it's frowned upon, and in America, I wouldn't take that risk.
Yeah, so we didn't take that risk. So Kieran just drank him in the car park. That's what we'll say. So Bruno comes out and he unwraps the top of his burrito like anyone else.
Yeah.
And so do I. And we both are essentially just staring at each other in 14, 15 degree sun over the top of a Chevy Malibu. And I'm watching him and I'm thinking, he's throwing himself back 2 yards every bite. And he's going, and he keeps going to me, it's leaking. And I was like, okay. And I keep looking down thinking, all I was thinking was, oh, that sucks. Mine's going to get messy. I don't want to get messy. Yeah. So I keep eating. I get to the end and I go,
bone dry.
I literally roll up the tin foil and I go, that was bone dry. I walk around the car because I think Joe's still not out, so I need to go check on him. As I walk around the car, I look around the corner, and the kid is now 15 feet from the car, and there is a trail of what looks like gasoline from the car, but it's just his burrito.
It was a massacre.
Yeah. At the time, again, we'd forgotten about the Subway sandwich. In hindsight, he was wringing that out with a big grip.
Like I think flannel,
he was squeezing that while he ate it, and he didn't realise he was Lenny in the sandwich.
Oh.
Lenny and the Sandwich would be a great name.
Good band.
So I go back into Joe, come out and get a bowl, and we get in the car. And Bruno puts his shades on, and he sits down. We are cruising. It's absolutely fine. No one even remembers anything. The burrito thing's gone over our head because we just thought, that's a shame. You got a hole in his burrito or something. And I'd say about 30 minutes.
I think it was.
Yeah,
okay. As well.
No, I'm sure. About 30 minutes into the journey, Bruno sits there, and we're driving behind a trailer, and he goes, wouldn't it be funny if you And we go, and I turn to the others, and I go, and Kieran's belly laughing. I go, what just happened? And Bruno at this point goes, I like Subway sandwiches don't hit me, so it's not that, honestly. And we go, okay. And I go, And then 2 years later, he's sitting there and he's just looking forward and he goes, wouldn't it be funny if like, and he just did that. And we went, what is happening? Oh, you're right. And then he started to laugh. Then we would laugh because he was uncontrollable.
He had a different.
It was.
Yeah, it was like
it wasn't his.
It
laugh.
was maniacal.
Yeah.
It was so loud. We were all in pure ecstasy.
It was great.
10 minutes of that continued.
Yeah.
Us all belly laughing. We're all crying because how funny he finds it all. It's all going
and then
great.
I finally realised what was happening.
Yeah, then Bruno realises, it might. I got
a dodgy tummy from the Subway. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he has got a dodgy.
It's like food poisoning.
Maybe he got a dodgy Subway sandwich. Who knows? And we go, we see what's going on here. And all of a sudden, like a dark cloud comes over the car. And the next 90 minutes of my life, I will never get back. Because Bruno, and can we put that picture in? Are we going to put that one picture
Yeah,
in?
we can.
Yeah.
We can.
The picture you're about to see now is what I saw for 90 minutes from the driver's side. He
does that for a period of time, and
Bruno
is done so. Bruno was done so.
Bruno was officially done so.
Yeah. And he, at one point, takes his glasses off and dead serious looks at me and goes, just keep an eye on my eyes. Yeah, and I put the shades on. I think this is helpful for me. And I look at him and he's back to, like, why is a ghost staring up? And every now and then I go, but you're right. He goes, I can feel every muscle in my face. And I went, sorry? And he goes, yeah, I can feel everything. And I was like, gotcha. And then he went silent for another maybe 30 minutes where every now and then I'd go, are you okay? And he'd go,
yeah.
Nothing. Check him again. I mean, a ref in wrestling would just have to stop the match. And then I check him again. Yeah, I'm fine. I was like, okay, just checking. Because he's not moving. No. He's just staring. He's like comatose, essentially.
White as a ghost as well.
Then I'll say this. He did randomly just come up with like a really sad story as well, like that triggered him during this. And I was like, oh my God, like this is really bad. And then he went back to silence again. I was like, oh my, what is happening? And we were all joking. I was like, and he kept, and then every now and then we go, oh, you've ruined Joe's baseball day as a joke. And he would turn and look at Joe, touch his knee and go, I'm so sorry. And he did that maybe 4 or 5 more times.
I really didn't want it to carry over to the start of the game and it become an issue.
It didn't. It was perfect.
It was perfect.
How it played out was perfect.
I mean, the 90 minutes was 90 minutes I'll never forget. But there was a moment. And also, by the way, we intended to get to that game an hour early. We got there. We walked through the doors at 5:06, 6:05 as the first pitch was
close.
So we got close. There was one more thing, and I can't remember what he said. He said, "What?" Oh, he goes. Eventually, he gets annoyed at us because we're talking about him, and he goes, "I'm having conversations here," and he just 2 fingers hits his head, and then in hindsight, hours later, when he's like completely normal, he goes, "I was talking to you the whole time," and he goes, "But I wasn't, was I?"
I just couldn't converse it. Yeah. I had it all in my head. I was responding to everything.
Yeah, I bet you were so quick as well.
It was really good.
It was electric.
Really good retorts.
The material was unbelievable, apparently, as well.
The annoying thing is, you know that the initial thing where it was the trailer. I was so angry at you that you weren't understanding where I was coming from.
Yeah, all we were hearing was, I heard, wouldn't it be funny if? And then it was like, I don't know. And that was how it was. But then he would laugh and he'd try and do it again. He would just keep like that. What's up?
Oh,
this is interesting.
Yeah, my patience was 0. Oh God.
Yeah, and then we listened to Nelly and
yes,
Bruno found out that the Travis Scott song, he says "Fiend."
Yeah,
he's going to WrestleMania next month. Didn't know that was the theme, even though it plays every 2 minutes on Raw. We did a little Kendrick and we had some fun.
Yeah, we did.
We got there. We parked in the shadiest little field. A guy with a little tiniest cigar I've ever seen. I thought we were Australian.
And at this point, my food poisoning had worn off.
Yes. And what we don't also, as Bruno was coming back to full levels, Kieran was going the opposite direction. So this is what made the journey even worse. Was
he did have it double bubble.
I needed a wee so bad. So I felt like uncomfortable. I think you did.
I did, yeah.
But Kieran was very apparent. He was very, I'm going to have a wee. And we were getting a little traffic, and it was going to get us there at 5 to 6, and we were thinking we're going to miss first pitch. He was like, we have to stop. And I was like, I said, I'm not stopping. We have to get there because otherwise we're going to miss the whole thing, and we're going to come back out in the traffic, could get worse. And he was not happy. So as Bruno was doing this, he was now getting angrier. And then me and Joe are uncomfortable with the Wii anyway. The journey became a bit of a poop show by the end.
Yeah.
But when we parked up, this was the worst part. Kieran decided he's going to wee in a bowl in the car park.
Yeah.
So we had to stand there for 5 or 6 minutes, missing the first pitch, while he's now weeing, and we're all waiting to go to the stadium so we can have a wee.
I'll never be able to remove that image though of him through the back window of the car, hunched over.
Honestly, most people
he was
just
humping
sit.
the driver's seat.
Essentially, yeah.
Most people would just sit on the seat and maybe turn your pelvis to one side.
Yeah.
So that centre console was getting full Kieran.
Yeah, he was like hugging the headset to the front. The bottle, I think, was on the middle console, and his back legs were up on the parcel
I think
shelf.
he just had everything in the bottle and it was just holding up by the suction.
Yeah, but I mean, I think his big boots were on the parcel shelf.
full time cop.
Yeah, and he was screaming. No. Some of that was untrue.
All of this is. We always say that.
Yeah.
All of this is true.
Anyway, so we went to the baseball game, which actually I really enjoyed.
That was great.
That was honestly a top 10 experiences of my life.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Just
Hell yeah.
I
Guys.
had a sort of tick list before the game, and I said I wanted this, this, and this, and this. I think I got it all.
Yeah.
And it was spectacular.
Yeah.
Well, we saw a tidy home run fall into the hands of a ball hawk as well.
We did, yeah.
Ball hawk. I tried to explain this to the team. I was like, he went to nest.
He did.
And they wouldn't let him nest.
He
No.
did. He actually did.
Yeah, a ball hawk, if you don't know what it is, people that buy tickets to baseball games, and they walk around with a mitt, they hide it under their arm, and they wander around the arena, and they look into stats of who hits what in what direction. And they play their field, and then they catch everything that goes into the crowd.
They find it.
And then they sell it on eBay. And they're called ball hawks. They all look exactly the same. So I thought it was really interesting.
They look better.
Because we saw 2 different ones, and they look very similar.
Yeah.
I only knew it because they had different mitts. But I threw my hot dog down, and I was going to contest him. I couldn't get the chairs out of the way.
It was close to us, wasn't it?
It's because I was looking at Bruno. I was looking at Bruno, and then literally Bruno goes, whoa. And I go, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
No.
And I thought, is it coming towards us? I threw my hot dog down.
Yeah.
I turned around and started pushing chairs. And all I could see the whole time was the ball hawk going. And like, he's just smiling, and he's squawking.
He got it.
He's got his wing up. And literally, as I was like trying to get past the chairs, he catches it and he goes, yes! And I was like, oh.
So I tried looking for high fives. No one was
No one wants a ball hawk to get them.
And that the hot dog story in itself is a story as well. So we were absolutely freezing.
It was
cold. And Joe and I went to the store, and I had to lay down because I couldn't find a hoodie or a jersey. So I got a nice long sleeve top, but it was definitely a little bit overpriced. But
oh yeah, that shop is overpriced.
Sorry, a little bit overpriced. You paid $140 for a long sleeve tee.
needs must. I got it, and it helped. It helped.
I was dressed up. I did as well.
Yeah, but we came back and we were delirious at that point because what was it? I went and got us 3 hot dogs. Did I get us 3 hot dogs and not Kieran the first time? Or was it just me and Joe?
Hang on.
Yeah.
I think so Kieran came back with food earlier.
Yes.
And he said something like, that cost me $40.
Yeah, it was because he bought 9
It's because he bought a biz. But that put me off looking for food.
Yes.
So it wasn't until towards the end of the game, I said, right, I'm just going to go look at the prices, see what I can get. And I saw the jumbo hot dogs, beef hot dogs, for $7.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, $7? That's fine.
It's not great, but I mean, yeah.
But you get paid for $40. I mean, that's great.
Inside the arena, yeah.
So I checked if Scott wanted one. He said no. So when we went up, I said, I'm just going to grab Scott one anyway. So I got a couple. You got one. And then we went back, gave one to Scott. I had one. You had one. And then I think directly after, you then went and got 3. Like 4 more? With 3 more? 4 more? Like afterwards.
I think I bought 2 rounds. I bought myself one and then all of us 4.
And then
because Bruno's like, God, that went down well. We're like, go get one. And he's like, all right. Yeah. So he went and got 4. And then we ate them. And as soon as we finished, we go, another one would be good, wouldn't it? And everyone started laughing. So I just went and got and everyone I think assumed I was just getting a drink. And then I came out with 4 hot dogs. And I was pretty excited. And there's a picture of me on there.
Honestly,
we celebrated.
Honestly, that was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a good
moment.
time. Yeah.
Top moment.
I don't know. It's funny when you pop someone
It's great.
Yeah.
We did rounds of hot dog. That's fantastic.
You got to have a glizzy at a ball game.
You do.
This is glizzy sucking season.
Hey, suck it down.
Dog sucking season.
Glizzy good.
I don't think you're a bit lost contact.
We both missed something quite epic though, doing different jaunts.
Oh yeah.
You missed Paul Skeens walking past by getting the hot dog. Right. Which, to be fair, it was just Paul Skeens.
I can see it on Instagram.
It was fine.
What you can't see on Instagram is what you missed.
What I missed was something else.
Yeah, the rocket went off.
Yeah, Elon sent a
he sent a Musk.
A Moscow.
I was going to say, Elon sent a Musk up.
Yeah, or a Musk. He could send anything up there, really.
You never know.
Yeah.
But he sent a rocket.
He did.
It was SpaceX. SpaceX did something from Bruno. Where's the place? Cape Canaveral.
Cape
something
Canaveral.
Like oh god, I was trying to be funny with that name. That was the name. And it's apparently only like a certain amount of mileage away. And I saw it, and I was behind Kieran's head, and Kieran at this point had new teeth. He had his checkered shirt up, and he changed complete colour.
He did.
And I was looking at it, and then I went, "What is that?" And I thought it was like a plane or something. It looked like fire just going up in the air. And I was like, "That's mad." And we were just looking at it, and then we carried on watching it. Like, whatever. It was going really high. And we're like, and then everyone started looking, and then one of the kids in front goes, "Oh, that's Elon." And I was like, "Oh." And then I was like, "I'll Google that." And then it said 6:30. SpaceX is sending up a shuttle or something, and it was from Cape Canaveral. And I was like, "Oh wow, that was the rocket."
That was it.
Yeah. I was mucking about in the shop.
Yeah, Bruno was trying to get as many dollars into someone else's hand as possible.
I remember when it was COVID time, and you and Lissy were out in the garden, and you were like looking for, was it the Tesla
yeah
satellite?
Yeah.
And now you just watch that go up.
It was a lot easier this one because I was already sat there. I'll say this: I love a baseball game. I want to go to way more of them.
Yeah, I need to see that.
Oh, me too.
And I'm not talking about the janky London series. I'm talking about America.
I want to go to America.
Yeah.
I want to go to Baltimore.
Yeah, I want to go to Baltimore.
I want to see the Dodgers or something. No, it was unbelievable, and I think the seats we got. I think I'm really happy that we went that end because originally we weren't. When Lewis and I, because I was trying to help. Lewis was trying to help with his. I think we did on his card. Because you have to get it in America, and then we have to do some other stuff. So we were originally going behind the dugout, was like one seat behind. So that would have been cool to be able to watch them. But the kind of ability to just walk around on our side was so nice.
It's a hangout.
Yeah, it was just a hangout. And I like how relaxed it is.
In thinking back, what if we were all huddled together? Like we might have, the heat may have been.
I think it would have been warmer because I think the wind was coming over to us.
Yeah, it was.
And they would have had their back to it, and there was multiple people, and there was like a back to it. Whereas we were just on like flat land. It was just us and a bar.
We're in the outside dining area.
And the amount of people that went and got food and then just saw open chairs and just absolutely went down. Like we had to kick people out numerous times. And then I think, didn't Kieran get up and then someone tried to steal their seat?
They did, and I had to tell them. No, that's
Joe was like, "No, we bought these tickets."
No, that's Kieran's.
It's mad because I think those people have just bought any ticket and they've just wandered around and thought it's more comfortable over it.
Yeah.
But we bought 7 tickets. We only had 4 chairs.
Yeah. We weren't using those chairs. But I will say, you had a lovely Orioles old boy next to you who left a lot of monkey nuts shells.
Yeah.
They just throw them on the floor.
Yeah, they do. But he was great. But basically, him and I think it was his son, maybe.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think they went walking at some point, and this other couple sat down in their seats to eat and drink.
Yeah.
But I tell you that respectfully, the guy of the couple clocked them coming back, got up, held the seat open for him, and said, "Sorry, sir."
Yeah. In general,
that's some etiquette.
In general, we didn't ever have to say like, "Oh, there are tickets," whatever. You could just people just got up when you say, "Oh no, there are tickets." Yeah. So, okay, no worries. So it was good. It was good atmosphere. It was really good, and we had like that sunset that was gorgeous. But
a nice picture of you
couldn't see anything. Couldn't see anything.
I'm glad that the sunset was when it was.
Yes.
Because if that was later in summer and I wasn't going down for a while.
Would you have taken the sunset in your eyes over the cold, or the lack of sunset and the cold?
Lack of sunset and cold, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
it played out perfectly.
It did.
I was very happy with it.
Almost romantic.
Yes, Baltimore lost.
They did.
People leave before the end of baseball game.
They leave, yeah, because it shifts around. You get the undercard players.
I guess it's similar to like any preseason, isn't it? At the end of the game, there's no players.
Yeah.
We got to the bottom of the ninth.
Oh, we were at the top at one point.
Yeah, we went right to the end.
Yeah, we went right to the end, and it was an easy. I say this, like getting out of the stadium was so easy.
It was,
and like driving out of it, like there was no rush. Good. I know it's not a 50,000 seat.
Yeah.
It just felt well organized,
very relaxed.
But no, that was our baseball trip. Before that, essentially, when we first got into town, we thought, what food do we want? And the first night is a vulnerable night.
Yeah,
because you haven't. In Joe and I's case, we slept for 2 hours and then we traveled for. I think when we went out for dinner, we had been up for 24 hours then. And I think you guys were probably only 2 hours behind that. To be fair.
Yeah.
And we ended up at Twin Peaks because we went down to Old Red's to see if it was open, and there was a private event.
It was
with some kind of country.
Big tour bus. That was an official private event because there was another private event on that Saturday night that did not have the 2 tour buses out front.
It felt like
big
just a business that arranged it, whereas the other one felt like a private show.
Yeah.
We ended up in Twin Peaks, which we talked about Twin Peaks a couple of weeks ago, and we said I'm going to say it now. It's beating Hooters.
Oh, big time.
The wings were good. Service was good. This is my most important part. It felt clean.
It did, yeah. Very tidy.
Yeah, it did. It was, yeah.
It was a nice big venue, and they show sport, and you get everything you need.
You do.
And the beer was as delicious as I remember it.
Yeah. We did that, and then day 2 was that baseball day, seeing Sam and the baseball cards. Going to get Joe some cards.
Yeah.
I think we came back and we just got CVS.
It was Bass. You're missing Bass Pro. Bass Pro was Thursday.
Day?
Yeah.
We had a day.
I nearly got talked into a trip.
Joe nearly got talked into a trip. Kieran bought boots.
I thought I was having a polite conversation with a lovely gentleman. It turned into, come to my desk. I need to talk to you about something. And then it turned into, would you like the idea of this trip? And I said, that sounds great. And then he quickly worked out some numbers on a bit of paper. And I was like, that price also sounds great. I was like, I'll go talk to my boys. I'll probably be back at some point this week. He said, no, you have to pay this $200 right now. And I said,
you should have paid it.
I said, I'll talk to my boys. And I took the bit of paper and stayed over the other side of the shop for the rest of the trip.
I never went back.
I'm going back over there.
We ended up picking up, I got some dungarees for young baby. Kieran got boots.
He got lovely boots. Stag boot. Stag.
I
got a nice little, what are they called? Onesie for the baby too. Yes. Don't miss out on that. Don't, because I guarantee you've already taken credit for it because you swiftly put that into your suitcase. You didn't allow me to take it home, wrap it up, and then present it to your wife.
Well, you've already got too many gifts for my wife already in your bag, so I had to take one out.
I got the best cap I've ever owned.
The pointer on it, really nice.
That is the most comfortable, well-fitting hat I've ever had.
That's what it's about.
And I copied you, Joe.
Did you get the same hat?
I had the same hat.
You got the same hat, yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. It is a nice hat. Bruno went on a trip with no hats. He came out with 19.
I came back with a couple.
This is my favorite hat. It's from Temu.
Yeah.
Excuse my hair. I went and I put this in luggage on the way home. This has come off.
Oh, no.
It was all bent. Yeah, it's just glued on. But I'll say this, on Temu, £2, this hat, you can get any colour, any combination, any animal on the front, and they fit. The only hats that fit me perfectly.
Oh, nice.
So I have a nice little kind of...
That's the best.
Setup, yeah.
That is the I say the two best hats I've ever owned I bought on that trip, and it includes this lovely retro Cal Ripken shout-out Orioles cap. Perfect fits.
Is that a starter cap?
Yeah, it's like...
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I feel about the lack of hole because Bruno wore an orange one on there and he turned into.
I know.
He started going, yeah,
yeah.
He turned into.
Take it to the Matthews Bridge.
He turned into full Fred Durst.
And if I have it backwards, my ears like.
Yeah. There's a certain mouse you remind me of, and that's not.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get rid of that.
I've always
it's gorgeous.
I've never been a fan of starter caps. Like, I prefer a good snapback. And that cap you bought is the lovely spring training cap that the Orioles are wearing this season. But
I like the color.
Yeah, it's the color that gets me. But it's this fact that it's a starter cap is what I kind of drew the line at. But I ended up buying a starter cap that wasn't even the same hat.
Nice.
But I've always wanted this retro one. So
I don't think I can pull off. Sorry, I prefer a snapback, and I don't think I can pull off wearing any cap backwards. I think.
Yeah,
I think I'm a forward head guy.
You had it on today backwards.
Yeah, it fits really well.
I just feel like Tucker from Nickelodeon.
It's really nice.
From the front, you can't see the cap. It feels like you're wearing one of those hats that Ray Lewis would wear.
A Kangol
And
hat.
no, underneath his helmet.
Oh yeah.
You know those little guys. It looks fine.
I like it.
Yeah,
I'm not really going to wear it this way that much, but
No.
it fits so comfortably.
From here, let's say you got Arteta's hair in the little screen. Yeah, so that was that day. What was the next day? That was Friday. So Friday's the day that kind of every bit of energy was pulled out of everyone by the end of the day.
The first 2 days, we crammed everything
So
in.
much.
Everything.
Yeah, and
What was Friday?
it was Old Red's day.
Azul.
And agave.
It was Azul.
Oh, was that
Yeah,
Friday?
agave.
Yeah, we're working towards Old Red's.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
freaking Bruno out, I think. Yeah, it was agave day. I can't remember what we did in the day, but we were kind of like moving around. We did Dave and Buster's in there. Obviously, we did Denny's. IHop is awful. Denny's is much superior
Yeah.
now.
100.
Yeah, we did a couple of things, but we ended up having a late lunch. Oh, we went to Target.
Oh, Super Target.
Target, yeah.
And Dick's.
Yep.
We did
I
all
love
these kind of things. And then we met with young Kelly Kincaid. I just say young before everything. I don't know. Young Kelly Kincaid from NXT fame. And we got to have agave, which agave azules is a little bit of a ongoing gag between Kelly and I think, because you'd think we work for them. Because when we first went, she said we should go to agave. And I said, it sounds great. Second time we went, I said, we should go to agave. She said, you're just spot on. Third time, we both went, agave. And then this time, I messaged her and said, when do you want to have lunch, blah, blah, blah. And she said, blah, blah, blah. We should show them all agave. And I'd already said to you guys, we're having agave. I hadn't even ran it past her. And then we went to agave. And Kieran might now work for them because that guy loved that meal.
He polished that plate.
Yeah, I've never seen
and we all, so before the meal, I asked what's good. And Kelly recommended the chimichanga. We made the waitress's day very easy.
We did that about 5 times.
We did that a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't stop them getting it wrong a lot.
No.
Not in agave, though. Not in agave. We've got 5 chimichangas around, I think.
With and an iced margarita that I swear I was trying to go for happy hour, but unless that was another mistake I made.
Yeah, well, you were on tequila a couple hours later, so you need to relax. This was, by the way, red hot this day.
It was, yeah.
I bought myself a Laguna Beach t-shirt. I'm very chuffed.
I like that shirt a lot.
From Five Below. We had agave with Kelly. Kelly had to go at the end, and we went home to get the old boots on.
Yep.
And kick up the dust a little.
Yeah,
we headed to Old Red's because Kieran had to get his new boots under his jeans.
He did.
That was the big part. We need to make sure.
It was a big talking point that day.
It was a big talking point. But he got them.
It was.
He did, yeah.
We put our boots on. We drove 30 seconds from the hotel, spent 3 to 8 minutes trying to park, and then had to walk 10 minutes from the car park. When if we just walked from our hotel, it probably took 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But we did it. It felt like a night out then, didn't we?
It did, yeah.
It did, yeah.
It was also the only night Old Red's was open to the public.
It was,
for
yeah.
some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we got away with it.
we managed that, yeah.
We got Alex Kilroy,
Yep.
and it was followed up by Michelle Marie.
He is so good.
He's very good, and he looks exactly like Kit Wilson in his tourniquet.
He does.
He does, yeah.
Young Kit Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, young Kit Wilson. But he's unbelievable. He did Simple Man.
Oh.
We were trying to get Venmo so we could get him to do higher. But
Yeah,
but
I would have paid him all the money to do all the songs that we wanted.
at that exact point, you would have. And then to get the seat we wanted to watch music, me and Bruno had to buy food even though we were not hungry. And then we kept that seat all night.
We
took one for the team, yeah.
That's the second time I've gone to Old Red's and not had to buy food.
Right. So at this point Kieran started getting the beers in, and Bruno got a tequila something or other.
It was a Texas sunrise. It's normally a tequila sunrise, but this was a little bit different.
Yeah.
It was more of a soda than orange juice with it, but they went down like a treat.
Yeah. And I'll say this: the bill came to $300, and that's all that happened on that trip.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, well,
crazy.
Kieran paid the bill.
Kieran. I keep sending him memes on Instagram of when your homie buys you the bill. And I sent like 3 or 4, and I think he's getting off point where he thinks we're never paying. No, but nothing else happens in Old Red's, is it?
No, whatever happens at Old Red stays at Old Red.
Is that right, or is it on this podcast? Bruno, I know we had the conversation yesterday about splitting this episode into 2. We can't really now, I don't think.
No.
So I'm going to say this. Bruno had someone jump at him, a female. She loved him. And Bruno rejected her quite heavily and then turned his back on her. Bruno, what do you want to say about this?
I didn't. Like I said,
what happened?
I made a lot of bad decisions.
This is like Logan Paul?
On this holiday.
Yeah.
And that's probably the worst.
You think
that was the worst?
Yeah. I'd easily take that trip to Sarasota again.
Sarasota.
Sarasota.
Yeah, Sarasota. Basically Bruno was in a situation and there was a lovely lady that was interested in Genji Luke Holmes.
Yeah.
And that's as far as it went. That's the story. That is the actual story. I'm not going to divulge any more. If you want more, we have to do it on the Patreon, I think.
Yeah.
But that pretty much does sum up the story.
That pretty much sums it up. And there's a video to prove as well. Bruno's not going to put it in, but I mean, there's a video where she's dancing and Bruno's literally doing it. He refuses. At one point he said, "Don't look at me." And I was like, he never said that. That's not true. But I'm not going to go any further on that.
She was absolutely lovely. And
some would say perfect.
I was silly, yeah. Yeah.
Silly boy. But that ended that night. We stayed up very late that night, though, I must admit. We listened to another band saying 3 a.m. by Matchbox 20, was it?
Yeah.
Was it we never got their name. Or was it the other one?
We didn't get their name, did we? No. Just a very good alternative 90s band.
Oh, yeah. In that place. That was rocking. We really should have gone to that place as well. I kind of wanted to suggest that on the Saturday when we got back, but
time had passed.
We were.
But Old Reds, guys, check out Old Reds because I think it's so much fun. And we've got a little history there now because I've been there like 5 times. Joe's been there a couple of times. Bruno's now been there, and I'm sure he'll be going back.
Also, a big part of my engagement story.
It's a big part of your engagement story. And shout out Alex Kilroy. Check out his music. But that was the end of that day. But I think this is the actual piece de la resistance of the whole holiday is what happened on the Saturday.
Yeah.
So Saturday came and it was the first day where I think money had been drained, supplies had been drained, energy had been drained. And we were sitting there going, and Bruno's complaining, I need Waffle House, he kept saying. And we went to Waffle House. So busy, and he was like, I don't want to be in here. And then we had to go,
I don't want to be in here.
Yeah, I don't want to be in here. And we were like, all right. So we went and had a Denny's. We redid a photo, 11 years on with Kieran. You did a little chain wrestling in the car park.
We did.
At this point, we got hold of Lou, and we were going to head over to Lewis and Kelly's to hang out before the illustrious.
Mate, we were heading back to Hampshire. Sorry, his place where he lives is a place in Hampshire that we know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's very good. I was going to say it then, and I was like, that's too much.
Don't want it. I don't want it.
No, absolutely not. And so we hung out with Lou for a bit, and you guys hadn't, it was mad to me. You guys hadn't met Babs. And I couldn't believe time had passed.
No, I haven't. Yeah.
Situationally, that you guys hadn't met Babs. So
haven't seen Dusty for a long time.
I think
Dusty destroys me. Every time we leave, I feel I miss Dusty.
I think they got Babs after I literally just like a month or so after I last visited.
Yeah. And so you guys got to see his house. You got to their house. Dusty and Babs. We had a little chat. We did a little couple things here and there. Looked at cards, obviously for whatnot. Go check out Peppercorn Sports Cards. And then we got ready for what is going to go down as a historic moment. But also the moment that scared Kieran the most on the whole.
Oh, yeah, he was dreading it.
Kieran was so worried about this. We played 6-a-side football on an AstroTurf. If that's not too scary.
Yeah.
But Kieran's he's not a footballer.
No.
He hasn't done it in a long time.
He also didn't come prepared either.
He didn't come prepared. None of us really did, even though we knew it was happening.
Yeah.
We all had different versions of Lewis's shoes on.
We did, yeah.
We went to a gas station. We were nearly late. We ended up on the same team. And it was all of us. Our boy up front who was setting the press.
Oh, yeah.
Victor switched sides like the sly dog that he is.
He did.
And we had another guy that turned up halfway. But
a couple people popped up halfway. I kept spotting new people on our team.
But the team was majority us 5.
It was. Yeah.
And I'm going to set the scene. We're in God knows where, Orlando.
Well, it was downtown Orlando, I think.
It was just outside downtown Orlando.
It's somewhere near the Kia Center. I remember going past it.
No.
We're on a 4G pitch.
Yep.
It's half grass, half Astra. All these people have brought their family.
They have, yeah. Big night.
And and I'll say this. The teams were made up of British, Mexican, and American. But we were the only 5 British, I'll say that.
Yeah.
And it was very apparent in our style of play.
It was, yeah. I went full John Terry.
We headed the ball more than any six-a-side team's ever done.
I think I've ever headed.
We delivered every corner as Arsenal would with a back post flurry.
Oh, yeah.
Running through, and we were doing blocks. Joe and Lewis delivered 2 of the worst cynical tackles I've ever seen in football. So no apologies. And we ended up winning 10-5. Lewis got 4. I got 4. Very different goals to Lewis. Lewis's his strike quality was high.
Night and day.
I was just popping him in. I was just rolling him in far corner. He was just, every time he caught it, I was like, what has just happened? Gone top bins every single time. And I think our boy that set it all up, he got a goal, I think.
I got a beaut as well.
And you got a goal.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But no, we took him down.
I hit the post.
You did hit the post. Twice. We were desperate for Bruno to get a goal. I made a nice save once I'd ruptured my hamstring.
Yeah. Bruno made some hella blocks.
Yeah, Bruno made it. He kept us in it massively.
But you made the worldie.
I made the worldie, but I mean, it was for the cameras. It was for the families around.
Yeah, it was.
I'll say this. We made 3 or 4 of them just walk off without shaking hands.
They did,
I know.
We sent them home. Goodbye.
Old full kit.
We were all waving them.
Yeah.
I was waving. Joe was waving. Bruno had his camera out like Odegaard. It was mad. It was really good. That song that plays after every Premier League game.
And there was someone saying, just get down the tunnel.
Yeah, someone said just get down the tunnel because we were over celebrating.
Carragher was livid.
He's already done something on it.
Has he?
But we got a Polaroid of it as well as a regular shot of this with the match ball. And the guy taking the picture should have been in the picture because he was in the team.
Yeah.
I wish we got it. And Lewis is going to try and get the picture that we took of everyone that played.
Yeah.
But shout out those guys. It was such a fun night.
I really wondered whether that's a regular occurrence of taking a group shot or whether it was a special occasion because more
nationalities,
people came
different
in.
nationalities.
And it was like I wonder if that was just taken like on a whim.
Yeah.
Like because they enjoyed it so much and they were like, we have to get a picture.
Yeah, it's
great.
It was good. It was so nice to see so many different nationalities playing football. And I mean, the other team cheated a lot. They just wouldn't give us corners and stuff.
No.
And we were so by the book and we still beat them. And we'll try and get that picture of the whole team. I don't know if we'll have that by the time this goes out. Because it depends. It's not in our hands, I'll say that picture.
It's in another country.
This is my country currently. But no, it was so much fun. Kieran loved it. We all had to ice bath afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
My hamstring is still pulled.
Oh, still pain.
I'm a little swollen. By the way, I don't know what's going on. My legs were just swollen since that flight. It's only just now going down. My ankles were gigantic.
I was having a shower when I got back and I was like, what is going on? Like, I know I'm a big boy, but I wasn't that.
My socks were digging into, like, when I lifted my socks, they were like outline of the sock. And I was like, that's not good. My cargo trousers, like the loose scarf, there was an outline of the cuff. And that's loose usually. So there was an outline.
My Vans were getting tighter on the plane.
Yeah, on the flight, I can't do
the laces digging into
I think they got the pressure wrong or something on that flight.
I did. They got everything wrong.
They did. I think they got everything wrong. I think he came down too quick.
He did. Something went wrong.
I got the worst.
Yeah, your head nearly exploded.
My head. I can't explain the pain I got here above my eyes.
That's good stuff, isn't it?
It was so painful.
I had shooting pains in my ears. I was like, oh my God. And then my legs, were 3 times the size for a good 24 hours, which was cool. But no, that football was there. And then the last day, we sit down, we watch Man United and Arsenal with a full collection of Peppercorn.
Yeah, we did.
And honorary Pepper himself, Lil Red.
Yeah.
And the illustrious Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
Babs, Dust, the lot. We're all there. So it was a heck of a trip. It was a heck of a stag.
Honestly, I can't believe it was 5 days.
Yeah.
It felt like so much longer, and it felt just so nice, so easy, so simple. But that emotion still gets you when you leave.
It does, yeah.
And I didn't think it was going to hit me that hard, but it did.
Yeah.
Driving out of Hampshire was just tough.
I didn't want it to end.
I'll say this: when we were, I nearly shed a tear next to Bron Breaker in the airport. I'll say that.
I fed in for a spear.
And I went, hell,
You know what I mean?
hey, rock!
yeah. So, yeah, these quotes were said a lot during this. Cook. Yeah, I'm collecting cook cards.
Yeah.
Got one
You
coming
have
from
to,
China,
you have
actually,
to.
current.
Have you?
Did
you order that?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I think I should.
I tell you what, Joe, I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that my case did get open.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that card's gone, I think. And if anyone's listening, if anyone wants to go to Old Ginge on ebay.com, there is a
Nice to get it.
Yeah, Kieran pulled the maddest card.
Mad card.
I can't. I had a little bit then. I couldn't remember what I wanted to call myself, but yeah.
I like old Ginge.
Oh, Ginge.
But I haven't actually checked. It did make it back all right though.
Yeah.
But I haven't checked in it.
Yeah.
So
And Joe brought over the ones Lewis gave us today, and I went through them. Some lovely cards.
There's some good cards in there.
Lovely cards. But no, yeah, the trip generally, I thought it was mad. Like you said, it's 5 days, but that's being generous. Like
It was the longest whirlwind.
The actual period we were there was like 4 days. And that's like 3 nights, but like 2 half a days.
Yeah.
And there was a day of travel either end. Like it
was full.
It was so full. It felt like we were there for like 2 weeks. Like by the end, when we were like, we went to see baseball. Like us talking about it now, that was
Thursday.
5 days ago.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That feels like it was 3 weeks ago. It doesn't feel 5 days ago.
We only played football on Saturday.
It's only Wednesday. Mad. It's not Wednesday, it's Monday. It was 2 weeks ago.
And as you're listening to this, I'm now 42.
Yeah, Joe's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Guys, make sure you check us out on the Peppercorn Boys on YouTube. Give us a comment. Let us know what you thought of this stag stories and what you thought of Bruno's Subway sandwich on the way to Sarasota. And listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, everywhere you get your podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. Let your friends know about it. The Peppercorn Boys are growing. And the Peppercorn Boys have all been together now as well. We've been together many a time.
Yeah.
But there's very rarely a photo that encapsulates all of us being together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It exists.
It exists.
I'm definitely glad that I got that picture for sure.
Oh, definitely. We had to have it.
Yeah.
Had to.
But no, I thought it was brilliant. I thought I've never experienced such a small thing, like period of time, have so many stories or quotes or things like that. And again, we haven't gone deep into some of these stories. I think one day on a Patreon or something, we could tell you a little bit more about these stories.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And Bruno blanked a female in a bar.
You, Scott.
Let the people say, let's go!